What is going on, everybody? We're back with another episode today of Ari and the Secret of Seasons. Last time we left off, we were heading to the city of Astara. And we're continuing the adventure for her to collect all four of the... I glitched through it. All four of, like, the season orbs. Gain all the powers. Figure out everything that's going on, you know? The typical. The usual. Been a good couple days since I recorded. I record a lot in batches. A lot of people ask how or when I record. Realistically, I record whenever I have time, or not necessarily whenever I have time, but I usually try and find like a decent amount of time to get 4 or 5 videos knocked out at once. And it kind of varies week to week, you know. Some weeks it'll be I'm kind of crunched for time and I don't have a huge backlog. And so I kind of have to record 1 to 2 episodes of every series in, you know, a 1 to 2 day time period. Excuse me? There's like brand new terrifying enemies? Okay, and I am curious, does that do damage to anything? Looks like that's a no. We'll get back into my recording discussion here in a bit. I think that's taken care of. It's also extremely loud. So give me a moment while I turn all that down. Anyways, apologies for that. But I do get a lot of questions regarding how and when I record. So I kind of figured it'd be a good idea to just kind of talk about it, you know, and have something to speak about. It's still extremely loud. I don't think nothing should be changed. Yeah, there's nothing changed audio-wise, so I don't know where the abrupt loudness is coming from, but I do apologize. I think we need to get another landmark tablet. Oh, hello. Well, you will be murdered. Yeah, if I'm strapped for time, realistically, and I don't have a whole lot of backstock set up. Or backlog set up, excuse me. I'll have to record a couple of those episodes of everything. I can't speak today. Probably not the best idea to record when I'm having one of those days, but I'll record a little bit of everything, just so I have enough to go up for that time period. Whereas like recently, as you know, I had an hour-long episode of everything go up. And the reason I was actually able to record like that is because I had about 2 weeks worth of videos primed in the backlog. And it made it really easy there to record long episodes and not have to worry about stuff going up immediately. I did die there, unfortunately. Yeah, it's nice. It's kind of nice to have 7 to 10 days of a backlog set up, so I don't, you know, if I find a day where I definitely can't record, or a set of days where I don't have the time or the energy or what have you, I don't feel the need to record. Like today, you know, the backlog's really not that thick, but today's the 28th. And you know, I just had a couple hours to just kill and put some videos out, and I don't have this every day, but it is certainly nice on the days that I do. So I'm assuming I'm still like locked into combat. There he is. All right.
Okay.
Hello. I just kind of wanted to see what you had, honestly, good sir. That's right. You're the upgrade man. That might be worthwhile. I don't counter a whole lot. I don't have a slingshot that I know of. Go ahead and do the health regen.
See ya.
Ooh, I think I said no.
Hello.
There we go.
Later.
Later. He talks very strangely. I've also gotten a lot of questions lately regarding, this is gonna kind of be like the next probably 2 episodes will just kind of be like me chatting while we play and maybe just commenting on some of the more crucial story beats. But I've had a lot of comments and questions lately, more so than usual, asking a variety of things. So I kind of figured it might be a good idea to, maybe we'll just sit and chat, sit and talk. And focus a little bit less on gameplay for a couple episodes. And I actually think we're gonna go probably into a dialogue heavy section, so let's go ahead and take a peek in on this first. But I do got a lot of questions about my recording in general. So like, how do I choose what games to record? Realistically, it comes down to there's 2 main ideologies, I guess, that kind of factor in. One of them is, what do you want to play? Right? Like, you make the best content when you are creating what you want to create. So for instance, Nexomon right now is going up. If you're not watching that series, it's probably my favorite that I'm currently recording. It's just something that fits with me, it fits with stuff that I like to play, and it also kind of fits with the theme of the channel and what we like to do. A lot of freeform stuff, some open objectives. There's a lot of like downtime where you don't really have to pay attention to what's going on. You're just kind of fighting and killing and trudging through, and I think that fits really well. We're also, like, as you can see, we're recording Ari right now, and no knocks on Ari at all. But this is more of a game I'm recording because not only did I need something to kind of fit in the time slot, which clearly this is doing, but it also it's a newer game. It's on Switch, so it appeals to a certain subsect of my audience. And overall, it's just something I think that fits the channel, but isn't necessarily something that I would pick up and play on any given day. So, word mustn't get out that the sheep guard is missing. Are you asking me? And why not? You are prejudiced against sheep, like so many others? Prejudice? What do you mean? Fluffy, cuddly sheep have no business being guards. That's what people say. Must be more fluff than meets the eye. We're gonna help the sheep guard, I suppose. Because I believe that's the only way we're getting in here. Anyways, we're gonna go find the sheep guard over here. The other big ideology is something I touched upon just a little bit there. It's newer stuff, or topical stuff, we'll say. It's almost always beneficial to play things that are new, so that eyes that are gonna be on them are on them already. For instance, The Last of Us 2, brand new game that came out, AAA title. Lots of narrative and discussion and discourse around it, and so by uploading that, I'm getting extra eyes and views on the channel, which is positive. It's also a great game, and I'm having a great time with it, until kind of what happened now. I'm starting to fall out of it a little bit, so we'll see where that takes us. But asking this man if he's heard from and or seen the sheep guard, said that he was around the market. We'll take a look over there. But it's finding a nice balance between those 2 things, right? Like, you don't want to be a total sellout and a shill and just play only the brand new game that came out and make 1,000 videos on it as quick as possible, and kind of dilute your content with the idea of only gaining subscribers, and not necessarily enjoying what you do. But on the flip side, you don't want to play 2008 PlayStation 2 games almost completely, and not get a new section of your audience that would be interested in more topical games. So finding the right balance there is somewhat difficult, I would say. He has no idea. We've searched the market. Now we're gonna ask around. I'm wondering if I just have to ask the people here. Also, there's a bottle of fruit juice. Guess we'll just ask a bunch of the people here.
No.
It doesn't seem like... here we go. Streetlights, huh? I can't. Like, do you have any? The sheep guard. Ooh, flocks of sheep make their way. Go ask Josephine. All right, off to Josephine. Away we go. I also like to try and pick stuff that, how do I mean, not that, look, everyone's gonna assume that by playing new topical stuff and not only playing for, you know, your personal enjoyment, you might, I don't think I can get up there, unfortunately. You might be kind of like a bit of a sellout, almost. And I don't really agree with that sentiment. While I understand where it can come from if you're solely playing brand new games and exploiting them as much as possible for views, and that can be a bit scummy. Playing new stuff to gain followers or subscriptions or views or anything like that is not scummy, at least inherently. You know, everybody wants to grow and find, how do you phrase this, like, and find new avenues to open up new paths and to seize opportunities, and this is a great way to do that, in my opinion. Now if I'm playing Ari and I'm having a terrible time, but it's, you know, the views are banging out, then it might be a little more questionable as in a moral standpoint of, you know, are you just doing something you hate for the views and for the publicity? And stuff like that. I typically like to vet games a little bit before they end up on the channel, and just make sure it's something that fits and that I would enjoy. And so far we haven't found really any duds yet, but back when I used to create content a couple years ago on the channel, and everything's still up, so if anyone wanted to go view it and get an idea, they're more than welcome to, but I used to play stuff that I didn't enjoy. And I would just kind of stick with it, and eventually I would just have to nix the series because I was having such a bad time. I try not to be like that anymore. I don't want to be like that. That's not the idea of creating content on the channel. So that's where we're at. It is a little bit wild on what sticks and what doesn't. So, like, my Last of Us videos do pretty good. The Ari videos are, of the 4 things I'm uploading now, surprisingly the least viewed. I would have expected, typically short sequence is not a series I'm uploading for views and views alone, more or less. Like, short sequence is realistically I also think I just went in the same door I went out of. Short sequence is realistically just a series where I can play basically anything I want, something that is almost an ego boost for me. I have such a problem finishing games that I'll upload stuff under the short sequence tag just to say, like, you know, this is an 8-hour game. Might not be something you're super interested in, but this is something where we can talk and discuss and have a good time. And it's something I know I'll finish, and it'll make me feel good that I finished another game that I wanted to play. So, typically short sequence does not pull great numbers compared to the other series that go up on that channel. Typically my single player narrative driven games, which is the Monday, Friday, 8 a.m. time slot, that slot always does pretty well. It's typically some newer stuff, some more fun stuff, and it overall does pretty decent on the channel. Do need to find out which one of you is indeed Josephine. I'm not gonna buy your weird ass wigs. There we go. I'm looking for a sheep guard. Nothing. Return to Captain Rose. Off we go. Come on, Ari. There we go. Frame rate kind of just like tanked there for a second. But yeah, typically that's the series that does the best, is that single player series, followed by kind of like the catch-all series, if you will, which is my Nexomon time slot at the moment. He was behind me the whole time. All right. That's him right there. Fascinating. Was I supposed to do that? Enter the city. I'd like to enter the city, please. What do you want? I'm here to see the prince. Oh, so I had to finish that first. Oh, a golden ticket. Why don't you say so? You must be Ari. You're expected in the castle. Please head in. I can't wait. I think I could wait, but we'll go in anyways. Just casually walking on by.
Hello. I'm
Oh,
here to see you.
real cutscene.
Oh, right. I'm here to see Prince Crocus.
Why are they so excited? Prince Crocus. Man is strutting.
Welcome to Prince Crocus, August Company, and Throne Room.
Does he think he's a sheep?
Highness, the current apprentice to the Guardian of Spring, and most likely future legendary warrior. Be welcome. Oh, it's you.
You again? But you're Ronan the Messenger.
And Ronan the Herald, too. Had to pick up a second job. Times are tough with all the seasons out of whack. But don't you worry. The grandiose Prince Crocus will set all right. Eventually. Soon. Probably soon.
The game has some okay writing. I won't complain. Load times are still hell. Oh boy, I shouldn't have said it. I willed it into existence. Maybe. One day. It's gonna free me. It's done it. Oh, hello. How grandiose. Strange.
Ari, thank you so much for coming. I have something I want you to see.
Ooh.
Flynn and I found this while on a mission for the Guardians. This is what he touched when he...
Why would you touch it?
I've forbidden anyone to touch it until I become the legendary warrior. I'm so glad that you're here.
Dude's creeping me out.
Would you honor me with a dance? I wouldn't say it's tradition, but I just can't contain my joy that you're here.
Say no, bro. Oh my god.
Have I mentioned how fetching your new haircut is?
When you almost ran me over. Yes, thank you.
Oh, yes. You look so lovely. In the dirt. Your brother was the best of all the apprentices. And with him gone, I feel an obligation to be the best legendary warrior I can be. To honor his memory. Of course, for me to be the best I can be, I'll need help. And all the crystals. in order to defeat the evil mage.
Dude, I do love piano sheep.
Ari, can I count on your help? To help me be the best warrior I can be? To help me defeat the mage?
Of course. Crocus?
Oh.
We have to get out of... Ugh.
Homie didn't even try to be nice.
You attacked the Guardians.
Thank you for your help. Time to open the vault and become who I'm supposed to be.
I knew it. Bastard. Alright, well. Gonna do it for this episode of Ari and the Secret Seasons. Next time we come back, we will continue on the plot and probably talk a little bit more about the questions I get. Thank y'all for watching. I will see you next time.